Hello there, Sir from 17 once again. This is my Call of Juarez Gunslinger True West difficulty walkthrough. This is Chapter 8, Bounty Hunter is Still My Name. This is a pretty tough seeming chapter at first, but it's not too bad. It also kind of marks the last arc of the game for me, because a lot of the levels after this are kind of shorter and you get them over pretty quickly. And in about 20-minute stints I found when I was capturing this. But we're going to be moving through this swamp, moving through a lot of destroyed houses and things. This is your opportunity to look for secrets if that's your thing, or just look for ammo caches and all that kind of good stuff. But for the most, I'm just going to be following the waypoint moving forward, because I'm not really interested in picking up all the shit, because it's something that I'll do at a later date on my own time. And a lot of people wonder why I don't do collectible videos. Well, I don't really like collectibles, and I do videos that I like. That's kind of how I work. Logically, I should do collectibles, because a collectible video takes maybe 1/10 of the time of a full walkthrough. Like, most of the collectibles itself is editing, and that's literally it. You don't even need to do the commentary, because the video is so self-explanatory. And those videos get immensely more views than any walkthrough will ever get, because a lot of people would rather watch where the things they need to collect are than how to get through a game, because there are quite a big percentage of people who don't mind playing and struggling and learning and winning, which is great, because that's kind of, you know, the meat of the gaming community that we're losing a little bit. A couple more guys to shoot here, and once again, there doesn't seem to be too much for me to talk about on this video, so I'm going to go off on a tangent because it's quite a long one, so I do have quite a lot of flexibility to speak about some other things. As that guy throws dynamite at me, which is one of the worst criticisms of this game. Getting away from the dynamite throws can be a pain in the ass because the throws are so large and it rolls, and it's one of those things where the indicator is okay, but it doesn't really help, because you're like, yes, there's a dynamite indicator on my screen. Am I close to it? Am I far away from it? Like, what the fuck is happening? Where is it going to end? And sometimes you'll have it on the screen, it'll go off and it'll do no damage. It's weird. And as you can see, there must be a soldier, one of the enemies, who is specialising in dynamite, because that's the third piece they've thrown. But that right there is a headshot kill on one of the shotgun guys. I believe there's an achievement for killing a shotgun guy with a shotgun up close, because it's kind of risk versus reward achievement, which are always fun to get. I prefer those to the, you know, kill 5 million people for the sake of being that bad, or just playing the game that much. You should probably either invest in another game or go outside, because those achievements, they just don't serve any purpose at all. There's so many achievements on lists nowadays that you're just like, you seriously want me to do all this bullshit just so I'll spend more time with your game doing something I dislike? That's not an incentive scheme. It should always be fun. Fun or challenging. Fun, mechanical, challenging. You don't need get 1 million kills with your fist. Like, yeah, that's going to be fun, isn't it? All I'm going to do is find one checkpoint where I can kill 5 dudes in 3 seconds and restart it. So I'm going to game your system anyway, so you're not earning anything by making me do this arduous task, because someone's going to find a way to do it easier. It's just how humans work, you know? There's a really... I'm not going to say famous, because it might not be as famous as I believe it to be, but there's quite a profound quote from Bill Gates saying that instead of hiring someone, you know, really good to do a job, he wants to hire someone he would rather hire someone who's really lazy to do that job, because the lazy person will find an easier way of doing it in a shorter time than the hard-working person would. Which, if that is not anti-Darwinism, I don't know what fucking is. That's essentially saying that the person best suited and who is most efficient doesn't get picked just because they want to find the shortcut via the lazy guy, which I still think is a pretty badass quote and really funny and quite relevant, but it just seems, I don't think that's what you want your employer to say. You know, we're going to pick the laziest guy, the guy who has the coffee stains on his portfolio, because we know he couldn't be asked to clean them off or reprint it. He's the guy who's going to prove to be the most ergonomic and efficient. It's just, it's so fucking stupid. It's glorious. It's really good. But my channel there's going to be some new stuff coming towards it. I've got a couple of ideas for some series which I'm keeping a secret at this moment in time. One of them I've already done, which you're going to see in due time. One of them relies on me getting some 80s synth, like retro future style music, which I want it to be original so I can use it without worrying about copyright strikes, but at the same time I don't have that many contacts when it comes to getting this kind of music. And I've hit up people on Twitter, which I only got one response, and 2 other people have showed an interest, which, you know, I've not really got too much clarity and too much, you know, progress from that, because one of them has to wait for a couple of months before they can do anything, and the other guy hasn't got back to me, so that's going to be delayed just because I can't get the music for it, and the music's everything. And I am tempted to use a game soundtrack, but at the same time I would like some music associated with my channel that's mine. And when I say mine, I don't mean I made it, because I will give people props and credit and everything, but, you know, just music that's associated with the channel I think is a cool idea, especially being so musically orientated myself, even if I'm not, you know, that musically talented. So it's something to look forward to anywhere there. I'm going to be putting up a video asking what people want my next live playthrough to be, because I want to try and do more live playthroughs, just because it's diverse compared to the guides, and there's not that many games coming out for the rest of the year till the new systems, so it does give me some time to perhaps work on another playthrough. And the playthroughs are easier to do. Like, you know, if I was to go completely lazy and go full on efficient when it comes to views and stuff, I would not make guides. So that's just a testament to what I do on YouTube. If anything else, a testament to my stubbornness and my lack of business acumen, but it is what it is. So I'm going to be putting that out there so people can put forward some names of some games, and obviously I will be the deciding factor on it, so don't get upset if I don't pick your game, but that's what's going to be working. Along with that, I'm going to be doing something to celebrate 10,000 subscribers, even if it's just some live commentaries live via Twitch when my internet works. So at this moment in time my internet is extremely terrible. There's not much I can do about it when it comes to uploading or live streaming, so it's just a shame that not everybody's going to watch this video, because there's going to be people watching this video wondering why the fuck I'm talking about my internet who aren't invested in the channel at all, and there's going to be people who are asking on other videos why I'm not doing certain things that I'm answering in this one. So it's kind of that double-sided sword of making so much content and trying to put as much of myself and what I find interesting into the commentaries. There's a lot of people that aren't going to understand why I'm not just talking about the game, and then there's a lot of people that are missing out on the content purely because I'm speaking over this particular game. So you can't really win, and I should really go back to doing update videos, but I haven't really had to update the channel in a while as far as its motivations, and until I get to a point where that is necessary, I don't want to put update videos out for the sake of it, because I think it can get a little bit whiny and pandery, which I don't really want to do. So if I'm putting an update video out every week, you're just going to get sick of them, and you're not going to look forward to the new news. You've got to moderate these things, I believe. But just take your time here, wait for the enemies to come to you, pick them off, and get used to playing Reload the Game, because you reload a fuck ton on this game unless you spec into it, and it can take a while to spec into the reload, and there are better abilities in my opinion. But there's a part of me that also wants to expand the channel into movies, because I'm so passionate about them, and I'm on a massive movie kick at the moment. Anybody that watches my channel on a regular basis will know that I do speak about films and review them and things in some videos, just off the cuff. I am tempted to start showing trailers from films and analysing them. Also show film reviews, perhaps, to try and move towards a more review-orientated side of my channel, which is something I haven't dabbled in, but I'm more than capable of doing. I don't know, there's a part of me that wants to really start to tier my some of my side projects towards the journalistic side of gaming, because that is probably one of the best options I have as far as getting a job in the business. You know, it's not going to be easy, and I'm not trying to take the easy option or anything. It's just, I think it's probably the most valid, just due to the fact I have a decent understanding of the English language. I'm extremely passionate, and I understand the concept of objectivity and judging something based on its merits rather than my opinion of that merits. But it's such a competitive industry, folks. I've sent out so many emails to different places, and I didn't. The only responses I got were automated, and it can be really disheartening to anybody who's ever tried to get into a creative industry, especially when a lot of people will just tell you to go and get a fucking call center job and give up on you. They call them dreams, you know. I don't. A dream to me is becoming a creative director at a game studio, or a lead script writer on a massive film. They're dreams because they're things that don't happen in a day. You know, they're what dreams should be. Not just the aspiration to have a better job than a fucking manual labour or complete slave wage piece of bullshit. You know, but these people don't understand it because that's all they know. These people have no aspirations, they have no ambitions, so to them, you know, the only choice they had in life was to do something they don't enjoy and then wait gradual death, which is something that I really don't want to do because it's a waste of potential, it's a waste of energy, and it ain't for me at all. And people confuse that with an unwillingness to work or an unwillingness to graft, and it's not true at all. You know, I work harder than a lot of people just primarily on this channel. You know, the work ethic and the hours I put into making videos would make some people fucking blush. But the problem is it doesn't give back as much as you put in. Like, it's a completely abusive relationship. You know, you put in everything, you get back nothing but black eyes and tears. That's it. And the only way to change that is to continue to put in. So you're essentially building the foundation on something which is a floodplain, and the entire time you're waiting for Noah's Ark to turn up as the impending flood is looming. It's kind of strange, and I try not to talk about it too much, but every so often I just want to, and I want people to hear my perspective on things, because a lot of people that subscribe to me, they'll be subscribed to somebody else. I mean, leave a comment on this video who else you're subscribed to, who you know is massive, who you know is really, really big. Like, those people are the exception of the rule, because you get to the point where you don't have to try. It just is. And that's not me belittling the work that these people put in, because they probably still put a lot of hard work in, but if they only had 100 subscribers or 10,000 subscribers, they would put significantly more work in than they do. The fact that they have so many people just means that they don't have to strive, they don't have to be as hungry, you know. They don't have anything to prove because they've already proved it. And there's a comfort in that, but at the same time there's also a lackadaisical nature where you will get lazy, but on YouTube it never seems to punish anyone. Like, it's almost immunity. It's almost the laziness becomes something different. It transcends what it stands for from somebody on a quality perspective, and it becomes just more entertaining because it's worse. And it's the strange phenomenon that we all have, where we like watching shit. We do. Like, we like watching people play bad. We like watching people be idiots. We like watching people embarrass themselves, you know. And a lot of people will misconstrue this as hate, but it's almost a curiosity, and it can be bewildering at times because you just don't understand it, especially if you're coming and trying to be super professional on YouTube, which I know a lot of people that are trying to do that perspective, but I do believe that the intellectual age of YouTube, you know, as a whole, as an average, is about 10. So any channel that's aiming their demographic at anything higher, that are striving for, you know, a higher level of thinking or something more interesting to them, more mature, there just isn't that audience yet. Like, that's not to say that people aren't on there looking for that, because there are plenty of people on there that are looking for that. It's just the grand scheme, the average, is not that. So it's almost like, at this moment in time, a lot of those channels that are doing that are completely misunderstood by the major demographic. And it's one of those situations where you think maybe in 10 or 20 years, when that demographic swings, if those channels that were completely obscured by the fact that the people just didn't understand them because they were ahead of their time, are suddenly relevant, and they're the people, you know, owning the space, they're the people that are setting the trends and leading the frontier. And it's that strange artistic appraisal of, will they see and appreciate my value when I'm dead type notion, which I think is really fascinating. But I also think it's probably overthinking it, because look how many... Search this game in YouTube right now. Pause this video, stop this video, search this game. How many... Search this game and then walk through. How many hits do you get? A lot. There's a ton of people, and the first question I always look at is how many of them are playthroughs. Because let's call a spade here, right, guys? Or a shovel, because I don't think they're called spades in America. How many of those are playthroughs? How many of those are people that don't know where the fuck they're going and they're calling it a walkthrough? How many of those are people getting shit on, getting killed, playing badly, and they call it a walkthrough? And then another percentage of them are walkthroughs. People beating the game, some people doing it without commentary, some people doing it with commentary. You know, there are a shit ton. There are pages. You look down at the bottom, there's 10 or 20 pages. The list goes on. There are thousands of instances. Whoever's at the top is generally the biggest, you know. If the bigger guy covers it, who gets the most likes and the most comments and the most views, he's going to be at the top, and it's going to self-propagate more views for him because it's this self-fulfilling prophecy of if you're popular, you're already popular. You know, the rich get richer. It's crazy. And why would you ever want to watch anything else? You know, you go down that list, and there are 7, 10, 12 different versions of something to watch. Like, everybody's covering it, so what makes people different? And you look at it, well, oh, I bring this to the table. So does the other guy. You know, I bring this to the table. So does the other guy. What do you bring? And then you start to analyse your own stuff, and you think, well, I don't fucking bring anything. Why are you being so harsh to me, you bastard? I'm trying to appraise myself here. I'm talking to my damn self. Stop being so mean. And you can't even look at it like that, because you bring nothing different to any other channel. The only thing you bring is your own self-belief in what you bring. Like, you can be a better editor than other folk. That is true. That is fact. But 90% of the people that are watching have absolutely no idea how to edit. The other 10% have a varying degree of understanding of how editing should be done, and there is a difference between being enthusiastic and passionate as an editor and being trained as an editor and taught the rules of editing. There's a big difference. And someone who knows nothing about the conventions and the rules and the archetypes of editing can still be a good editor because he's passionate, he's creative, and he's got a vision. So editing doesn't separate people unless it's so much editing and so much compositing and artistic work and graphic work and things like that that it's something like an Xbox Ahoy, where the damn thing is so fucking professional and brilliant you can't help but either be envious of it or wish that guy had a job, and luckily enough he got a job doing it. But the thing with that is the hours you put into that is astronomical. You cannot do what I do while doing those videos because those videos take up weeks to make a single thing. So it's just, that is not realistic. So the only thing that differentiates then from editing and artistic talent is the gameplay itself, which has been proven time and time again on YouTube doesn't matter. Like right now, my gameplay here is decent. It's me showing you how to kill folks on this level. There's not too much to talk about because I'm just running and gunning, using cover. It's strategies that I've already done, so I'm not talking about it. So all you have right now as a reference, as a guide, is this. Me shooting folks, and you watching the things I do, and if the things you don't do, adding them to your repertoire. Or if you're one of those stupid fucking people that says, talk about the game because I need to know how to shoot a Gatling gun, then you're just stupid. That is what is being presented here. And it's of decent quality. I'm killing folks, I'm hitting a lot of my shots. I am a competent player, so this is a competent video. There are videos that will range from someone who is a magician with a controller who can hit every shot to somebody who you're not even sure realises that you can move both analogues at the same time. And you would think, or I would think, or I thought, it's probably better, I thought, because I'm talking in retrospect to my opinion here, when I first started YouTube that it would be the top tier floated to the top, and everything else was just kind of there. But that's not how it works at all. People don't want to see people who are better than them because it makes them jealous. The only people who are actually interested in seeing people better than them are the people who want to better themselves. And there are a lot of people in this world, folks, who cannot admit that they're lesser than other people. They can't admit that other people are better than them, so through envy, through jealousy, and through immaturity, they'll just troll, or they'll leave a hateful comment, or they'll mock, and have absolutely no proof to back up that they're any way superior to anyone. Once again, in these gunshot moments, feel free to cheat. There is an achievement for doing it, you know, without drawing early, but if you want to just get through the game, who gives a fuck? Just nail them all. And YouTube works in reverse. YouTube is like a backwards marathon in that respect. The people who play the worst have the best following. There are certain exceptions to this rule, but it's one of those things where mediocrity in play is praised. And a lot of the excuse for this is, oh, they go for the character, which makes a lot of sense. And I'm going to talk about that in the next video, guys, unless there's something better to mention happening in the video. So thank you for watching, and you take care now.